Hello, Daniela. Good morning.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing good. And you?
I am tired, but I am.
Tired. What happened?
My cat, he likes to wake up in the midnight, so I don't know why. He likes to play in the night, so yeah.
Okay. We have
Yes.
that
No,
problem with my dogs,
oh my god.
especially the
Really?
little one. Yes, we have that
He likes
problem.
to play in the
But
night.
not necessarily. Um, well, what happens is, for example, my beagle mix,
Mm-hmm.
he's got short hair, and where I live is cold now,
Mm-hmm.
so he's cold at night.
Oh, okay.
So he wants to cuddle, but he cuddles in between your legs or on top of your legs. So at
Oh,
night it's a
okay.
little bit uncomfortable, and well, uh, I was watching. I'm watching this TV series. It's about uh, what's the name of? I forgot the name, but well, it's about this training facility for aggressive dogs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's in Disney Channel, and the name of the academy is called Zen Dogs or
Okay.
Zen Academy, something like that. And I haven't paid attention to the title, but I pay more attention to the episodes. But what they do is they bring dogs that are very
Mhm.
aggressive and they work with them, which is very different from Cesar Milan and all these other trainers because they select the dogs they want to work with.
Oh.
So I like it better with this guy because he actually tells you the real problem with the dogs. And and one of the things that caught my attention is that you're not supposed to let your dogs uh, sleep or be on your bed.
Oh, oh. Why?
Exactly. Because they apparently your dog will believe that this is the most sacred place, so I'm allowed to be here, so I can do whatever I want. In other
Mm.
words, your dog becomes an anarchist with that.
Ah, okay. I understand.
That's what the trainer says, and it makes sense, but it depends also what kind of dog you have. But for example, uh, my dogs, they're very friendly with people. Of course, they got that issue with anxiety, separation anxiety, and they also have that issue with aggressiveness when they see other dogs. But it's not that they want to attack them; they want to get close to them.
Okay.
Yes,
Hmm.
it's like if it's like chasing a cat, and once you trap the cat, what am I gonna do?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Say play, sniff, I don't know. They got that anxiety. But for example, my husky, he wasn't like this. He got that anxiety looking at my other dog.
Mm.
He copies that personality from him. So I've been watching a lot of these episodes where they work with this situation because um, for example, when I go outside and they see other dogs, they get very anxious. They want to get close to the other dog, and that
Mhm.
could be good and could be dangerous
Yes.
because you don't know
Wow.
how the other dogs are going to react.
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm trying to train myself, man. I need to I need to coach myself on this.
Wow. Yes, I know that with the dogs is are different, right? With cats.
Yeah, cats
Um,
is just cats is you can work with them, but mainly for what I have seen with this, there's another show that I used to watch. It's not new.
mhm.
I don't know if you saw it. Is this guy that he's a big guy and he's got a guitar, but inside the guitar he's got like cat toys.
Oh, no, I never saw.
No, I mean it's not
No.
new. I saw this show many years ago, more than 10
Oh,
years ago.
no.
My sister watches it now because she's got a cat, but
Oh,
I forgot the name also about that guy. I mean, if I find it out, I'll send you videos. But
okay.
what he says is that a cat is a feline. So in the end, he is in his mentality, he wants to be on top of everything. So for
Yes.
you have to set the environment for them to be adequate so they can feel comfortable,
Yes. Uh-huh. It's true.
right?
It's
It's
mm-hmm.
different, yeah, exactly. And
Mm,
cats can be also very um, how can I say it, mischievous. They can throw things, they can scratch things, but you need to give them the toy so they can counterattack their anxiety. And that's what he
yeah.
says. You just have to create the setting for them so they can feel comfortable. And actually, my sister, she listens to this guy a lot, and she just not recently, but about five years ago, she just bought a house, and she's got a big garage. So one side of the garage, what she did, she conditioned that part just for the cat,
Yes. Yes.
and the cat is
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. Oh my God. He likes to be with me all the time when I am taking a shower, when I am in the bathroom, with my mom, with my brother, with my friends. Oh my God.
He wants to be
So
there, right?
yes, he likes to stay with me all the time. So well, I hope I will take a nap maybe in the afternoon. I am sleepy, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, well that's what I currently have to go through with my husky. Everywhere I
Mhm.
go, my husky wants to go with me.
Oh, yeah, this is nice because you have a partner in crime.
Yeah, I mean, he's I never had a husky. I know people that had huskies, and to be honest, I never had a dog, but I have been around dogs. My
No.
grandparents always had dogs, my neighbors, my friends, and at some point I tried, but I couldn't because I was always away. I was always at school or working, so I couldn't. Now that I'm more at home and it's just work and home, it's different. But when I don't know if you remember, I did mention this when I was gonna get Paco. A lot of people will tell me, you know what, huskies are very anxious and they have a lot of energy. And one of the
Mhm.
reasons why we got Paco is because nobody wanted him because he was just too quiet. He
Oh.
was just like a lazy dog.
Mm.
And that's one of the things that I actually learned from the Cesar Milan. He mentions always look at the dogs that they're calm because that means they don't have that much anxiety. They don't get stressed out easily, and that's true. That's very true because Toby, he gets anxiety fast, and he gets he sees a dog, he gets very, very nervous. And Paco, no, he's just looking.
Okay.
He's just looking like,
Um,
dude, calm down, you know?
yes. Oh, wow. Dogs are really different from cats. I want a dog now.
Yes, yes. Uh, but of course, I mean, I feel kind of like bad to be selective whenever you get a dog because is for me, it's like discrimination, you know, because
Mhm.
choosing a dog because of the breed, because of personality. I mean, that's very human, but also you're not giving the opportunity to all dogs, you know. And that's why I like watching this other show, the Zen Academy, because he gives opportunities to all dogs, and he has proven through some of the videos that he can work. I mean, you have to work with them. You have to work. It's
Mhm.
not gonna be overnight, you know. It's gonna take time. And I have done some improvement. I had to change some habits also so that I can adequate with my dogs. I have the necessary routines, but but also some changes at home. For example, my husky, he's got a problem with hair. He's always shedding hair, always. So I need to brush him every day outside. You know, I have to take care of him a lot.
Mm. Yes, but it's nice. It's only for, I don't know, in the lucky way, maybe 15 years, 18 years, you know.
Oh
So,
yes. Well, I try to how can I say it? I did some research on, well, since I do a lot of research on different things, I said maybe I need to do some research on what am I what kind of food I'm feeding my dogs, you know?
mhm, mhm,
So yes, I did some research on not the best food, but what is necessary for dogs, because there's a lot
mhm.
of food that is actually junk food and vitamins and also the necessary shots, vaccinations, vaccines, and is not cheap, but also you know it's worth it. Uh, I like having my dogs with me.
Oh, with meat?
No, no, with me. I'm sorry, with me.
Oh, with you. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I like having my dogs with me, and
Mm,
and I like going on walks and
mhm,
stuff like that, and I share pictures with other friends and coworkers, you know.
mhm.
But
Yes.
my husky is very like chill, you know. But whenever he hangs out with my beagle, oh, he
Mhm.
loses. I mean, he transformed himself into a
The
gremlin.
bad influence.
Yes, yeah, pretty much that's what it is. And but he's a very zen dog. He's very calm, chill. And sometimes when I walk, he hears something at the very far end. He starts howling like a wolf. He likes
Mm.
doing that. He loves doing that. And he's very strong. I remember one night I was close from my house. There's a park and there's a store. And there were some guys outside just talking. And then my dog started howling and they got scared. I could hear them. They get scared. Oh,
Oh, oh, baby.
no, but he does
Oh.
it for fun.
Oh.
He loves doing it. He loves doing that. But he also gets whenever he sees a dog in need, he does the
Mhm.
same. But it's a different haul.
Oh,
It's
okay.
different. It's a different pitch. Like yeah, it's different. It's different. It's like singing. Is a different haul, hauling, and I don't know. I guess I spend too much time with my dogs.
Is that? And that's nice. No, yes, it's very nice. I like dogs and cats. I understand. How do you feel with your pets?
Yes, and well, I try to make them feel comfortable also at home for my family and them, you know. Uh,
Mhm.
and and I don't know, you seen those old cartoons um,
Mm, which cartoons?
where like characters they are like playing and they just make like a ball of movement,
Mm.
así como tornado. That's the way they
Ah,
are when they play. When they are moving from upstairs to downstairs on the stairway. I don't know
mm.
how they do it without getting hurt, pero se bajan las escaleras corriendo y mordiéndose. Y nadie se lastima. I don't know how they do it.
Oh.
Y también subiendo. Se suben así las escaleras y así bajando. Como si fuera una bola así, nomás, negra y blanca. Like, how do you guys do it?
They
No se
are like a
resbala,
kid.
nada.
Mhm.
That's the way. And for example, when they hear the door,
Mhm.
if one of them is asleep, he wakes up, boom, goes down because he thinks we're gonna go outside. Like, no estoy dormido, I'm here.
Ah.
Are you going out? I want to go too. Oh yes,
Oh.
that's the way they are. They're competing always. They're always competing. And now that for some reason, well, the house was alone for many months, and I saw a lot of bird nests. Not anymore because I have the dogs, but sometimes some of the big birds they come down and they eat the dog food. And what they do, they hide when they see the birds. They just try to grab them. Of course, the birds are too fast, but they do that. They play with that.
Oh.
They always yeah, they like looking at the birds. But I don't know, and try to hunt them. Now Toby, he has caught some birds before in Cancun when we were living there because
Mhm.
there was a big space. He would be so fast that he would actually jump high enough and grab the birds.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like a cat. Like a cat. And he did that a couple of times. But remember, he's a beagle. He's a hunting dog mixed.
Yes. No.
But he's
Oh.
fast. He's very very fast. But that's that's the way they are. Right now they're asleep, so
Oh, that's good.
they're lazy. Yeah, they're lazy. They wake up like at 5 in the morning
Homework.
and they're playing and all of a sudden they go to sleep like around this time for 3 hours and then they wake up, eat, they play around a little bit more and then go to sleep again.
Yes. A good life.
Yes, I wish I could have something like that, but it's not
Yes.
gonna happen. Anyways, um, so yes, well, let's see. I'll share with you the information that I'm telling you about.
Okay, please.
You're gonna have a lot of
So I
fun.
can see.
I like it. I like it. I like those stories. I like watching that and other things. Something that I can learn.
Okay.
Anyways, so today we're gonna do some more exercises, and I have two different topics that are very interesting. The first one, well, you know, the late Queen Elizabeth just passed away. Uh,
Mhm.
But this is a very interesting topic, the day Elizabeth became queen, because of course she was queen for a long time, right?
Mhm. Yes.
But how much do you know about her?
I only know about the show of Crown, the Crown.
Hmm.
So I saw that show. So I know only about it, about that show, but nothing more else. I never read about the queen. I only know about the
Right.
princess.
Hmm.
Yeah, but only from her. Yeah.
Okay, okay. You know, there's a lot of rumors that Queen Elizabeth and Princess Diana they were not friends. and
Mhm.
they didn't like each other. There's a lot of things,
Yes.
speculations, right?
Yes.
And rumors that there was a conspiracy against each other. I don't know. Well, it could be, because
Yes.
I
Oh
mean
no.
nowadays is different. But imagine living in the 11th century and being a queen or
Yeah.
king. People would always want to kill you or poison you, right?
Yeah. It's true.
Because
Mhm.
that was exactly the same case with the Roman Empire and all the Caesars.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of jealousy and people always wanted to kill them because they wanted to be the emperors. And and this is sad, but it makes sense, right? Because this is
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of power, money, and people always
Mm-hmm.
want that. But let's read about this article. I find it very interesting, and there's also a video. So let's see.
Okay.
What do you know about Queen Elizabeth II? So let's watch the video to find out how she became Britain's longest reigning monarch. That's correct, longest reigning. Mhm. And before that, we have some vocabulary. Let's try to answer this vocabulary. An ambassador is an
Mm-hmm.
ambassador.
Someone who officially represents their country in a foreign country.
Foreign country. Yes, that's correct. A
For
decade.
10 years.
Okay. Yes. A
Mhm.
reign. Reino. A reign.
The period of time when a queen or king rules a country.
Yes. Prosperity.
Mhm. Hmm. Mhm. The state of being successful and having a lot of money.
Correct. An upheaval.
Hmm. A great change, especially involving much difficulty.
Okay, makes sense. To ascend the throne.
To, ascend- mhm. To become queen or king.
That's correct. You're a prince, all of a sudden you're or queen, prince or princess, and you become queen or king, right? Platinum Jubilee.
Mm. Mhm. 70 years after an important occasion or a special event to celebrate this.
Yes. And this is something very, very um, noticeable within the crown. Maybe we're not that familiar with it because actually I was reading an article about that. And it's not just any article. It was from Minecraft. My daughter was watching that. And in Minecraft, they were
Oh,
saying that
okay.
how is Europe different from Americas is that we don't have monarchs because Europe still
Mhm.
has monarchs, right? And
Yes.
they
Mhm.
have this tradition of Platinum Jubilee where they celebrate some special events and stuff. But in the Americas, we don't. But at some point we did,
Yes.
right? That's why we got
Mhm.
independence from those monarch countries, and we don't celebrate those things anymore. Anyways,
Mhm.
a monarch, a king or queen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions about the vocabulary?
No.
No questions? Okay. See, we
Mm,
have a transcript here. No, we don't have a transcript. But let's go watch the video. Are you ready?
yes.
Okay. Let's see. Showing. Okay. This is going to be interesting.
And now a page from our Sunday morning almanac, February 6th, 1952, 70 years ago today, the day Princess Elizabeth, Duchess of Edinburgh, became Queen Elizabeth II. Her ascent was sudden.
Nairobi, Kenya's capital, was in sunny mood for the visit of Princess Elizabeth and the Duke of Edinburgh.
The princess was in Kenya on what was supposed to be a 5-month overseas tour when her father, King George VI, died. Word of his death first reached Elizabeth's husband, Philip, who told his wife the news that would change their lives forever.
And the new queen left immediately for London, where her uncle, the Duke of Gloucester, and Earl Mountbatten, uncle of the Duke of Edinburgh, were waiting to welcome the girl who left as a royal ambassador and returned as a queen.
The ensuing 7 decades of the Queen's reign brought periods of national prosperity and political upheaval, as well as the decline of the once vast British Empire. Prince Philip died last April, but 70 years on, the woman who ascended to the throne at age 25 occupies it still. In June, Britain will stage a Platinum Jubilee celebration to honor a monarch who, in a world of constant change, remains a singular figure of strength and continuity.
Of course, she's not around anymore, but she did have the opportunity to celebrate a platinum jubilee, right?
Yes.
Wow, I wish I could last that long. Well, I guess if you're the queen, you eat the best, right?
Yes.
Right? Anyways, all right, let's see. Interesting. So write a number 1 through 8 to put the events in the order they are mentioned.
Okay. Okay. Princess Elizabeth and her husband and Dr. Edinburgh visit Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay. If you feel that you need to watch the video again, no problem, okay?
Okay. King George died. I don't know how to say it. 6?
6?
Died.
He died, okay?
The Duke of Edinburgh told his wife about the death of her father. Queen Elizabeth left Kenya immediately for London. Queen Elizabeth ascends the throne on 6 February 1952.
1952. Okay. Wow. That was what? 7 years after World War II?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's 1945 and 1952. 7, yes.
7 years. Yeah.
7 years. There were a lot of change in Britain in the years that followed. Britain celebrates 70 years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign in June 2000. No. The first is the Queen's husband, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, died in April 2021.
Yes. So she was a widow already, right?
Yes.
And the
That's
last
one.
one?
Mhm. Britain celebrates 70 years of Queen Elizabeth II reign in June 2022.
So she lived long enough to celebrate those 70 years,
Mhm.
and then she passed
Mm.
away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions about this?
Mm. Mm.
Vocabulary, things like that? No?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. Complete the sentences with the words from the box.
Okay. Princess Elizabeth had planned to tour
Two words.
all
Okay.
four different countries for 5 months. When she arrived in Kenya, Princess Elizabeth was a royal ambassador.
Ambassador. Yes.
When she left Kenya, she was queen.
Hmm.
She was I don't know. Oh no?
Yes.
No.
When she left Kenya, she knew she was a queen already.
Mhm.
That's what they were saying. When she arrived,
Yes.
she was a royal ambassador. When she left, she was a queen.
Mhm. Queen Elizabeth II ascended to the throne when she was 25.
Okay.
Platinum
Platinum.
Jubilee, lat, lat, Platinum Jubilee,
Platinum.
Platinum Jubilee
Honors, isn't it?
honors 70 years of the Queen's reign.
A ring. Okay. And 6.
Queen Elizabeth II represents strength
Mhm.
and continuity.
Continuity. Okay.
Continuity. Okay.
Yes, continuity. Interesting. Wow. So it's also interesting that how things have changed, right? Countries are not ruled by monarchs anymore, but you'll be surprised what the monarchy created at its peak. The French, the Scots, the Germans, because everywhere you look, for example, in the morning, I was reading this article from Fiji. Well, Fiji, to my understanding, is a British colony, and that's way over there in the Pacific, close to Australia, New Zealand. And also, there are some territories, island territories from France and the US. So, wow, uh, all over the place there are territories from all of these monarchies, European monarchies. So, I guess, mm, I mean, that's one of the main ideas of being a monarch, or main purposes is always to conquer and have more land, right? To exploit. Times have changed. I'm pretty sure they don't exploit those places anymore, but they do exploit the services, the goods they have, right? There's always some tax to pay back. But it's interesting. I mean, I guess, yeah, that's one of the things the Japanese didn't like about the Europeans in the US. They had these closeness in the Pacific, these islands, and they were not territories from the Asian countries. They were territories from the Europeans, so that's why they were upset. Why are these islands in the Pacific European territories?
Mhm.
There should be Chinese, there should be Japanese, there should be Korean territories. So
Yeah.
they created all of these internal conflict and external conflict. That's why they use that as a part of an excuse so that they can declare war during the Second War, right?
Mhm.
A lot of things. I
Yes.
guess not many things have changed, but at least we're not at war anymore. Anyways, which other famous queens or kings do you know?
Hmm. I know that it's a king and a queen in Spain. I know that. I don't know how they call, how they, I don't know the names of these people, but I know that it's a monarch there. I am correct or not? Mm,
I don't know their names either, but I
maybe.
know Spain has its monarchs too.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Now I am trying to look in Google and it's Felipe sixth.
Ah,
Since 2000, 2014. 2014.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's been around for quite some time.
Yeah. I don't understand how it works is because I know that they has a president too, right? In
Yes, that's
Spain.
they
Hmm.
but they don't call them presidents.
It's a like the first.
Prime minister. In the
Yeah.
UK, it's a prime minister.
Yes. And maybe it's more social thing. It's like I don't know. Mm, yes.
But remember also, the church had a big influence,
Oh yes,
right?
it's mhm.
So monarchs could not do many things without without the permission of the church, and the
Oh,
church has lost a lot of power now, if you want to call it,
mhm.
right? They have
Wow.
lost
I,
power,
I forgot that. Yes, it's true.
but the church was how can I say it, a big influence on decisions. And I was listening to something very interesting in history. Uh, for example, there is a celebration here in Mexico. Oh, we talk about Cinco de Mayo, right?
Yes, but I don't understand
I'll tell you
what.
why. I'll tell you why. I watched this documentary about that. So when Mexico got its independence from Spain, uh, Mexico had a lot of internal fights because people wanted to be in power. So there was two parties, right? That they had constant conflict. You know, there's a time when they celebrate the revolution, the Civil War, but Mexico always was at war internally. Even after
Mm,
its independence, there was always fights. So I don't really believe that the Civil War started at the end of 1800. No, the Civil War was always there, but they don't discuss it like that. Anyways, um, give me
Teacher?
just a second. Yes, I lost the signal.
Okay.
Um, during that time, France had a lot of interaction in Mexico. They had people coming in, doing trade, investing money, whatever. At some point, when Mexico was having conflict after its independence,
Mhm.
The Spanish and the French, they found an opportunity to come to Mexico and claim deudas, stupid debts. All of a sudden they
Mm.
said, you owe me these, that, whatever. And Spain said, yeah, us too. And France and Spain encouraged the British to do the same. And they said, you know what, let's go invade Mexico. Right? Yeah,
Mhm.
they did that. Let's invade Mexico. Let's do it. So France has always been like that. Siempre, siempre. Siempre se inventa cosas para sacar dinero de otros países. France has always been like that.
Mm.
In,
Okay.
in the Middle East, in Africa, everywhere. That's the way they work. Anyways,
Mm.
what happened was during that time, the US was going through the Civil War. And the British, they said, you know what? We don't want to get involved because the US in the Civil War and our economy depends on these guys. So we don't know what's going to happen. So you go ahead and do whatever you want to do in Mexico. Okay.
Mhm.
And when the British and the Spanish invaded first Mexico, they defeated the French and the Spanish in the first combat. And because of that decision, the French
Mhm.
decided not to help the US or invade the US during the
Mhm.
Civil War. So that's why the Americans celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Because if Mexico didn't beat the French during that time, they would have
Mhm.
gotten strength and they would have invaded the US through Mexico.
Mm. Okay.
So now that makes a little bit more sense. That's just a summary,
Mhm. Mhm.
but that's pretty
Yes, I
much what
have to
happened.
read.
It has to make sense.
Uh-huh.
Why do they celebrate that Mexico beat the French? Because the French was using an excuse of a debt in Mexico so that they could invade the US.
Mm. Mm. Very interesting.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
I will read about it. Mm.
There is this documentary about that in Netflix.
Oh, really? How it goes?
I need to look for it and maybe perhaps you have access to it and you can watch it. So I
Okay.
owe you
Yes.
that. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Okay.
Because everything is like a chess game, right?
Yes. Mhm.
They pretend to be doing this for some reason, but in the end, there's a final catch. That's the way they are.
It's true.
Money makes people greedy. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see. So we have here this other article, and I like it. We talk about carbon footprint, and look at the title: Fake or Fur? Your Christmas tree's carbon footprint. Interesting. Is it natural or is synthetic? Does it have any carbon footprint behind? Yes, of course. But let's talk about this. If you have a Christmas tree in your home, you thought whether it's better to have a natural tree or an artificial tree? This video can help you to decide. Okay, so let's see. So we're very close to Christmas, but we have some vocabulary before we start. And observe carbon footprint, decompose, disposal, emissions, recyclable, miles, landfill, impact, greenhouse gas. What's a landfill?
Mm. It's a space for.
Trash, waste.
Oh. Oh, I was thinking another
Like a
bin.
dump. Ajá. Es donde
Okay.
ponen toda la basura.
Okay. Landfill. Okay.
Yes. Okay, let's try this. Number 1.
Okay. Airplanes have an emissions. No, impact.
Okay.
Have
An impact?
an impact on the environment. They have a strong effect. It's okay. Yes.
Mhm.
Plants absorb carbon dioxide from the air. They
Okay.
take it in gradually. Absorb. Yeah. Cars produce a lot of
Mhm.
carbon footprint.
No.
These
Emisiones.
emissions.
Okay.
Okay. When you drive them, carbon dioxide goes into the air.
Mhm.
Your miles?
Mhm.
No. Your this
You
disposal
mentioned it for number 3.
carbon footprint. Yes. Is the total amount of carbon dioxide that your activities produce.
Correct. Remember, for example, for you to go to school, what is the amount of carbon footprint you produce? Okay. So it begins since let's take a period of time in the morning when you wake up. How much electricity you use? You turn on the lights
Oh,
to go to the bathroom. You cook. You use natural gas to cook, right? You watch TV. You take the bus. Everything has to do with carbon footprint.
okay. Um, the the mm, the this the compose of rubbish.
Mhm. What's rubbish?
Mm, I don't know.
In British, they use that as trash. It means trash.
Oh, okay. So, um, disposal then.
Mhm. Okay. Let's see. Disposal. The disposal of rubbish can be a problem. Okay. Oh,
Mhm,
especially if it cannot be recycled. Correct.
mhm. Okay. Rubbish that can be recycled is often buried underground in a landfill.
Okay.
Vegetables they decompose easily. They break down naturally into smaller parts. Yeah. Carbon dioxide is it's is impact. No. It's
Okay. So let's see. Let's do a check. Observed, carbon footprint, decompose, disposal, emissions, landfill.
impact too, right?
Impact, not yet. No one, it doesn't go here. What about greenhouse
Oh, okay.
gas? Carbon dioxide is a gas, greenhouse gas. ¿Qué significa greenhouse gas effect? Have you read about that?
No.
Okay, Imagínate un vivero. It's a house, right? Closed. You have vegetables, small plants, whatever. Close it. Si tú prendes a motor inside that house, what happens?
A motor?
Any
Like
motor,
a...
for example, a lawnmower.
Mhm.
The gas stays inside the house, right?
Yes. Mhm.
But you have plants, and those plants are going to absorb the carbon dioxide, but not fast enough. So what's going to happen? It's going to get hot inside the vivero,
Mhm. Mhm.
the greenhouse. So that's why it's called the greenhouse effect, all of these emissions. In the end,
Oh,
carbon
okay.
dioxide is a greenhouse gas.
Okay. I think most plastic bottles are recyclable. They go through a special process so that the plastic can be used again. In the UK, we measure distance on roads in miles. 1 mile is one, oh my God. I don't remember how to say that. 1 period.
1.6 kilometers.
Point.
Okay.
Oh my God. 1.6 kilometers. Okay, thank you.
All right. Good. Oops. Any questions here?
No, it's okay.
Yes? Okay.
Mhm.
So let's watch the video. Just a second. Okay.
It's the ultimate Christmas decoration, and British people buy millions of them every year. But what impact does the Christmas tree have on the environment? And should you go fake or fur? We're putting the Christmas tree to the test. First up, the natural tree. Around 7 million Christmas trees are bought in the UK each year, with roughly 3/4 being grown here. It takes up to 12 years to grow a typical Christmas tree. During this time, it has a positive impact on the environment because it absorbs carbon from the atmosphere and nitrogen from the soil. But once the tree is chopped down, it slowly starts releasing emissions back into the atmosphere. Transporting a tree can contribute to its overall carbon footprint. So buying a tree that's locally grown can help keep its carbon footprint down. But the biggest potential environmental impact for a natural Christmas tree comes from its disposal. If your tree ends up in landfill, its carbon footprint will be a lot higher. That's because organic matter, which decomposes away from oxygen, produces methane, a greenhouse gas which contributes to global warming. It's much better if your tree gets incinerated, burnt, or composted. That can reduce its carbon footprint by up to 80% compared with landfill. You can find out from your local council what happens to your Christmas tree once you throw it out. And of course, if you have the space, you can buy a potted Christmas tree, which you can keep over next year and use again next Christmas. So what about a plastic Christmas tree? Here, the biggest impact on the environment comes from production. Artificial trees are usually made out of a combination of metal and plastic, the production and processing of which can significantly increase the tree's carbon footprint. And most artificial trees are made in China, which means they have to be packaged and shipped to the UK. The good news is that you can reuse a plastic tree. So how many years would you have to keep it so that it has a lower environmental impact than buying a natural tree? Experts think it's about 10 years, but that's a rough estimate that depends on a number of different factors, such as the size of the tree. If you do decide to throw out your plastic tree, it's most likely to end up in landfill as it's not currently recyclable. Overall, your choice of Christmas tree has a relatively small impact on your annual carbon footprint. To give you a better idea, driving 12 miles in an average-sized petrol car produces as much greenhouse gas emissions as buying a natural tree, or 54 miles if that tree ends up in landfill. If you get an artificial tree, that's roughly equivalent to driving 135 miles. Of course, there are other factors you might want to consider when you buy a Christmas tree. But in terms of environmental impact, reuse for artificial trees and disposal for natural trees are just two factors you might want to keep in mind.
Okay.
Mhm.
So what do you think?
Mm. I think that everything contributes for
Pollution, right?
yes. So maybe it's better than I don't know.
I mean, you're still
Don't
gonna,
celebrate.
yes. The big difference in what she says is that if you buy a natural tree every year
Yes.
you are polluting. But if you
Yeah.
buy an artificial tree, you're gonna do it once for 10 years, maybe. So it's better to get an artificial tree.
Yes, it's true. It's better.
At some point, yeah.
But yes, but it's not the best option too, though. So
Mhm. That's correct. Okay,
yeah.
so let's see. Match the sentences A to H with the groups 1, 2. Okay,
Okay.
so let's see. Let's call green number 1. An artificial tree.
Okay. Okay. If it's in a no. If it's made in China, it's transported a long way to the UK.
Okay, what else?
Um, mm, the biggest effect on the environment is when you throw it out.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It can be recycled, so it's usually buried on the ground.
An artificial tree, it can be recycled. So it's usually buried under the ground. I don't understand that, teacher. But
No,
you can recycle the artificial tree or not?
it says no. It goes to the landfill.
Okay.
Because a natural
Mm,
tree cannot be recycled, but you can use it for compost and or reuse it if you put it in a pot.
mhm. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Yes, I am. I'm confused. The biggest effect on the environment is when it is made.
Okay,
You can reuse it year after year.
correct. Okay, so a natural tree, if it's grown in your area, it isn't transported far. Okay, so no problem. I saw that in Canada. They had local places where they would grow the trees. If it is in a pot, you can use it again next year. Okay, yeah, makes sense. It is better for the environment to burn it than to bury it under the ground. Okay, yeah. The biggest effect on the environment is when you throw it out. Okay, good.
Mhm.
Any questions here?
No.
Okay,
Okay.
let's go into the discussion, okay, because we're out of time. So which type of Christmas tree would you choose and why?
Well, with my family, we have artificial tree, but I don't. For me, especially for me, I think that I don't. I can choose one. You know, because I don't like too much. So
Natural trees are beautiful, but I don't like the idea of chopping and cutting trees.
yes, but I never saw a tree into the house, a real tree into the house. I don't know how it works. I know that I, I saw it in movies, yes, The last year that I had Christmas in the United States, I didn't see a real tree in the house. I didn't see that. So I don't know how it works. But I can bet that it's very beautiful. But I don't know. It's too much work. You have to clean all the house. You have to decorate all too. So no, it's too much work for me. You know?
When the tree is
Mhm.
cut, yes, because it
Mhm.
starts falling.
Mm,
But
okay.
when it's still alive, it's less work. I mean, it's still, you're gonna have trash.
Mm. So
I mean,
how
it
many?
depends.
Uh-huh.
It depends.
How
Also, you
many?
have space, no problem. But you don't have space, then it's a problem.
Yes. So how many days you can keep the tree with you?
Uh,
Eh,
when it's cut,
yes.
after it's cut, you can have your Christmas tree for about maybe 1 month and a half, 2 months.
So you can throw up those
Yes,
two.
but the problem is that it makes a lot of space, and
Yeah.
according to the article, it's better to burn it.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay. Now I can
Than to
understand a
move it
little.
to the landfill, yeah, or bury it.
Yeah. So because here in my city we don't have this kind of trees. It's only plastic trees.
Mhm.
And now it's easy to put the lights too, because if you buy the tree, it's with the lights too. So it's very easy. But I don't like too much because I have a lot of work with my mom when I do these things. And it's only my mom and me doing these things. And it's too much. And for this year, we decide to put only lights in the windows and maybe do the Jesus. I don't know how to say when you put the
Nacimiento.
uh, I don't know. Yes, that only that. So the light with that and that's it. Not a tree. I don't want a tree this year.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, I have. We bought one natural tree only once, and it was a big problem. Transport it, bring it, space, blah blah blah. So we decided just to buy a natural, an artificial one, and that's
Okay.
the one we have been having for the past 9 years.
Oh, okay. Oh, so yes.
Yeah,
It's
so
easy.
it's easier for us. Yeah, it's better actually, and we are actually going to do some space for it right now. So it's the time.
Uh, I like Christmas. I like it.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I mean, it's it's a good season. The food,
Yes.
the like getting together with friends, is
Mhm.
the weather, everything's perfect.
Yes, it's nice. Okay,
Yes.
teacher. Thank
Okay,
you.
Daniela, good conversation. I'll see you Wednesday then. Okay. Have a great start of the
Yes,
week and keep in touch.
thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.